Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. The Rogue nerf patch is now a few days old and oh boy did it change the meta. It actually managed to kill Rogue from standard altogether, and the meta is in real state of flux at the moment. There are so many contenders trying to reach for that number one spot, all the Rogues are gone and it's a brand new game again. And in this video I'm going to take a look at the top 10 best decks to play in this early post-patch metagame. And coming in at number 10 we have Ping Mage. Yes, for the first time Mage has reached a level where it's actually a top 10 deck. We'll see whether it will have enough juice in the tank to maintain a top 10 position, but for the time being you can actually play Ping Mage and climb the ladder. So have fun while it lasts. And coming in at number 9 is Fel Demon Hunter. I actually expect great things from Fel Demon Hunter during this patch, but Fel Demon Hunter has a weakness in very bad matchup against Ramp Druid, and Ramp Druid is the most popular deck in this early post-patch meta, which is kind of stunning considering that Ramp Druid is posting like 48% win rate. So that means that Ramp Druid numbers should start going down relatively soon, and once that happens, then Fel Demon Hunter can really start shining, because it has some really sweet matchups against stuff like Face Hunters, Aggro Shadow Priest, Aggro Druids. And by the way, you can actually run Macteridon in Fel Demon Hunter at the moment. Macteridon has been used as a tech card sometimes previously, but it has not been actually good enough to run. But now overall statistics are showing that Macteridon is actually doing some work. Between Macteridon, tons of Fel spells, Jace Darkweaver recasting those Fel spells, and of course the OTK potential from Karcher's Demon Render, Expendable Performers and Felfire Deadeye, Fel Demon Hunter is one of the rising forces on the ladder. The number 8 deck at the moment on the ladder is Bolner OTK Shaman. Bolner OTK Shaman is just good at defending against Aggro Druids, good at defending against Beast Druids. Druids are some of the top dogs at the moment, and Bolner OTK Shaman has a fine matchup against them, just clearing up all of that stuff. The tech cards in Bolner OTK Shaman have changed a little bit. We're running stuff like Spammy Arcanist, and there's no need to run Rusted Viper anymore because Poison Rogue is not threatening to just kill you. So largely the same deck as before, but deck choices are evolving and making it even better. While most of the top 10 decks are the same archetypes as before, some with just slightly different deck choices, we also have some newcomers like Aggro Shadow Priest. Yeah, Priest is back. It's not a new list though. This type of Aggro Shadow Priest was already played back in December, but now the meta is much more favorable for it with Rogues gone, and of course it being early in the patch when people are experimenting with stuff, playing an Aggro deck against people experimenting, yeah, that tends to be a good idea. So we'll see how much longevity Aggro Shadow Priest is going to have in it. But anyway, yeah, if you're a Priest fan, there is an actually playable deck after a long time. Something new, something old. Libram Paladin, still the exact same list that has been played for weeks and weeks. The latest change to Libram Paladin was when people started running Mr. Smite in this list for that little bit of burst damage. And after that, no changes, but Libram Paladin still a good deck. Strong against most aggro decks. Libram Paladin's main worry is that Quest Shaman is really strong in this current meta, and Quest Shaman is strong against Libram Paladin. So can Libram Paladin overcome this obstacle? If it can, it could compete for the number 1 slot, but if it can't, well, Libram Paladin is just generally strong. And coming in at number 5, the staple of every meta, Face Hunter. Face Hunter is just always good. Face Hunter has moved back to earlier lists now, because we had a brief moment where Beastalker Tavish, the hero card, was actually a strong card in Face Hunter, but the best matchup by far for that hero card was Rogue. And now that Rogue is gone, that means that Beastalker Tavish is just considerably weaker and should again be cut from Face Hunter lists. A little bit sad because it was such a fun card to play with. But now just don't do fancy stuff with hero cards, just focus on killing people, and Face Hunter is fine. Speaking of old archetypes, this time also using old lists, we have Quest Hand Warlock, and Quest Hand Warlock hasn't really changed since the beginning of Fractured in Alterac Valley. Still a very strong deck, now in a fairly favorable meta, because Quest Shaman, Beast Druid, Aggro Druid, all of those are good matchups, all of those are really popular, but there are some clouds on the horizon, because Face Hunter is still good against Quest Hand Warlock, and Fel Demon Hunter is rising, and it is very strong against Quest Hand Warlock, so we'll see how that affects Quest Hand Warlock's overall position in the metagame. The third best deck on the ladder at the moment is Beast Druid, and we have finally evolved to a point where we have been able to cut most of those expensive legendary cards from Beast Druid. They were performing really poorly, they were at the bottom of the performance list for a long time, but it was kind of hard to find anything that would replace them. I mean, some card always has to be the weakest card in the deck. But now this list with Wing Commander Mulverick is doing much better than the old Guff Illis type of list. And Beast Druid is generally having great time on the ladder. Its main problem is that it is bad in the mirror against Aggro Druid. It is generally stronger in other matchups, but then Aggro Druid is just able to challenge it in the mirror, and it's not terrible in the other matchups either, so the competition for the crown of the best Druid deck, that still continues. And as of right now, Aggro Druid is winning that fight. Aggro Druid is currently the second best deck in the game, just explosive, aggressive, just tar some stuff on the board and boom. But obviously this is an early post-patch meta. Aggro has some inherent advantages in early meta, so maybe Beast Druid can still overcome Aggro Druid in the long term. Beast Druid has a few more tricks up its sleeve. Aggro Druid is a little bit more one-dimensional. But even if you're one-dimensional, if you're fast and deadly enough, you can succeed. And then the number one deck in the game at the moment in these early days of the Rogue Nerf patch, that's Quest Shaman. Quest Shaman can be really explosive, or it can have tons of value, just so many ways for Quest Shaman to win games. And there's been some evolution in the lists. This list is currently doing the best. There's only one Canal Slugger in this list. One Canal Slugger has been cut in order to put Brukan of the Elements in the deck, and the Shaman Hero card really gives the deck even more power. Obviously these are the early days of the post-patch meta, and there will be plenty of changes to come. But right now, if you're looking to climb the ladder and you're wondering, okay, well, is Rogue good anymore? Well, no, Rogue is not good anymore. Well, what is? These 10 decks are good right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.